This is our newest winery project. You saw me take these doors out of my old office space over there in previous videos, and now we're going to repurpose these as saloon doors leading to our bathroom. The problem is, as always, these doors are too wide. These doors are 14 inches wide, each one of them, and they have to be cut down to 12 3/4 inches wide to fit into the space that we need them to fit into. So in other words, I have to take these all apart, cut them down to 12 3/4 inches on each side here in the center, and then reinstall them shorter so we have about an inch gap in the center for them to swing. We're going to take this Z strip out, and then we're going to cut this off. Hinges are going to go on this side here. I've got my 12 3/4 marks here. Now I'm going to re-screw these down and leave this like this. Alright, now I've got this one cut off right width. So what I've done here is I'm going to put these at an inch out on each side, and then I'm going to mark them here, and I'm going to cut those off flush. Okay. Alright, finished door. Let's do the other one. Put this back in here, see what I did on the other one, and we will re-screw this so we have the same configuration here. It's real good. These doors are done and ready for hinges. The hinges will go here. So now I have to take this side off on this side, and I have to cut these. Now we're going to cut the second board off on the second door for the hinges. Alright, now we'll reattach these. Okay, now I'm bullnosing these with the router. My whole purpose here is to make sure that as people walk through these doors, they don't get their clothing and their hands caught on any sharp edges. Alright, I've taken the roll pins out of these hinges so that they're slack. What I need to do is I've mounted the hinge to the door panel here, and I've mounted it to this piece that I cut that is going to bolt to the side of the door frame. I've got to put this up at 4 feet to the top, and then try to get the other door lined up with it. This ought to be a riot. The trick is the first one will probably be pretty easy to put up, but the second one will probably be a real dog. Got our door ready. It's going to want to go close to the center of this as I can get it. While I have this apart and I can actually see this, I'm going to drill 3 more screws here, 1 here, and 1 here, and screw this right into the wall. double check this for level. Perfect. Now this is pretty neat the way this works. You've got this little bar. Now you put that little bar in that hole there and you wind this up until your other hole comes open. Then you drop this little pin in there and you let it go back. What you're doing here is you're winding the spring up. That little pin goes in there and it's got a neat little angle or flange to it and it can't come back out. So now we'll get this one on the bottom and drop your pin in the hole. So when it comes this way, it actually has a spring to it. So now I've got to hold the door and put these other two pins in. Let it get around there, back. So you can see these little pins here, it's like a revolving hinge. Voila, saloon doors. Now what I've got to do is get the other door lined up perfectly with this one. Okay, I'm taking the pins out of here on these next set of hinges. And the thing you want to make sure you do is don't put your thing here, because if you take your pin out, the bar will come around and get stuck. So go clear around to the other end and pull it down, take your pin out, put that in a safe place. Then you let your bar rotate back around and your hinge is loose. We have to take the pins out of these. All right, so now we have to mount these first on the door. Then we have to mount them on the rail here. I pre-drill these because 99% of the time, if you don't, you'll split something. Drill these all the way through. All right, let's go put this thing in perfectly level. This is now true. So let's see where we're at for height. Perfect. The only thing I have here is I have a 1/4 of an inch more gap here than I do at the bottom. Now I could get up here and shim in the back of that at the top, and I might do that. The saloon doors are in. Now what I found in monkeying around with these to try to get them exactly the same height here is I put a shim behind this hinge here, and I put a shim in front of it. They're little plastic shims that you can buy. That set this height perfectly. Now the other thing I found out is to get these to actually be concentric and close to the same distance each time, which I managed. You can set these hinges on one side a little looser than on the other side. So what I did was I tightened these hinges up here on top and bottom, and I loosened these hinges a little bit here, top and bottom, and I loosened these one hole, which you can see here they have a hole in them, and this is the little pin that goes in. I loosened these up one, and I got everything to line up exactly right. Now I believe that these hinges have all these holes in them to actually set your gate however you want it to close and where you want it to stop at. And I got it just right. Now these are the doors from the other side. And you can see the height is exactly right. The doors are completely concentric and they're closing within probably less than 1/8 of an inch of coming together this way. And that is only because these are old boards and they were a tiny bit warped. I did the best I could. They're very, very, very close. And I'm really happy with this project. Thanks for watching this episode of Building Little Mountain Winery. And watch for the next one. There's going to be more. See you on the next video.